Party of two. Party of two? Right over here.
Yeah, we got a party of two right here. Welcome, everybody, to the Party of Two podcast. We're going to be doing an episode of Beyond Blue Sky.
Blue sky, blue sky, blue sky.
It's epic. I'm one of your hosts, the internet's Mark B. Donica.
And I am your other host, Andrea Donica.
If you're just tuning in to us recently, we did this back during Halloween season to figure out what rides deserve a Halloween overlay. But we figured, hey, that's easy to do again. So
Thanks, honey, for underselling us.
That's what I tend to do that.
Oh.
High self-esteem.
Woo!
But we've got some stuff for Christmas. Now, I've got a couple of small ones and one that I'm really surprised because it's cheap and easy.
A lot of these can be cheap and easy.
Yeah. One of these can't exist because the area doesn't exist anymore, but I still want it. Yeah. So I have a bit of a list. And actually, let me
He's making a list.
I've checked
He's checking it twice.
Once you've drank. But it's the time for eggnog, and you were very wise and didn't have any. So I want to talk about I want to talk about these really quick because they're not rides or attractions. They're just areas. They're areas.
Okay.
So, and what I can imagine them like. This one's really easy. I kind of copped out, and I did this for Halloween too. Springfield. The Simpsons has such a varied Christmas episode history. There are the introduction of Santa's Little Helper was a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
The Bart wanting Bone Storm and shoplifting was a Christmas episode where he steals the game on the same day that they're trying to do a nice family picture at the department store, and the picture is him getting yanked by security. And poor Marge sometimes, but
yeah.
Marge, but so to have some sort of a representation of Springfield at Christmas, I think would be another big fan opportunity. And if there was some even if it's like a backdrop of being able to take a picture with Santa's Little Helper, because you're not going to get a brown greyhound to sit long enough. So though they do have Max at Grinchmas.
That's true, they do. Well, that's a very controlled space.
But that's what I mean, is if they had a controlled space and it was actually Santa's Little Helper, quote unquote. The other one is Gotham. Now, I know it's Disney, it's DC, the DC Universe Square or whatever. This is specifically at Six Flags Magic Mountain, but it used to be all Gotham. And it had the Danny Elfman score all over the place. So it's especially hard now that we're in our third iteration of the Batman timeline, quote unquote timeline. But if it was Gotham from Batman Returns with like penguin toys all over the place and a Christopher Walken walk around character, why the heck not? I think it would be really cool, but doesn't exist anymore. And the last thing that I want to bring up is Beauty and Beast Castle at Walt Disney World Fantasyland.
Oh,
because
that would be incredible.
One of the few direct-to-DVD sequels that I think stands up because it got all of the voice talent back. Most, if not all, of the voice talent back, including additions from Tim Curry and who was Angelique? She voiced Rita, and she was the witch in Into the Woods.
Oh, Bernadette Peters.
I'm pretty sure it's Bernadette Peters.
Yes, yeah, you're right, actually.
Okay, so the Enchanted Christmas is one of the few direct-to-video sequels that Disney ever did that is absolutely phenomenal and just great on all things. So if you get a little bit of fife here, a little bit of the organ added into some of the area music, where it's just that little thing, or if you look up to the castle and you might see Angelique poking her head out, or you see, I know it's a specific setup.
It is very specific. The one thing I'm going to say is I don't know how popular that direct to VHS sequel is.
So that's why subtle. You make it subtle to where if a fan, not like put out everything out everywhere, but if you're familiar with it and you recognize that there's a pipe organ and a fife and there's this little angel that's just putting Christmas decorations out.
It'd be
like,
a cute little nod.
small, like Limpet in Little Mermaid, you know, it's there, and if you see it, you go, great. If not, you're like, that's a fish. So it's something small. So
I'd love to just see snow on the castle in the background, or just in all over Fantasyland. It's nice that it's on the castle itself, you know, the main castle, but it would be great to just see it go throughout all of the fantasy lands, not just in Florida, but Disneyland, you know, all over. I think that would keep the magic going, as it were.
yeah.
Imagine first the main castle getting lit up with the quote-unquote snowfall, and then it just continues through the entire land. That would be spectacular.
It'd be very cool. So yeah, those were a couple of small ones, nothing too big to go into, but I wish we could have seen a Batman Returns Gotham before the DC Universe took over. What's your first one?
Well, my first one is... I don't think it's going to happen at all, but
These
it
are
would
fun.
make me really, really happy. I have a mixture of things that I love about Christmas, and one of it is all of the pretty lights and, you know, snuggling up with your loved ones and just, you know, feeling those warm feelings inside, and also the music, which can either be kitschy and silly or just really heartwarming. And the Muppets are one of the first groups that I think of in terms of the holidays and music and something really nice. And I think it would be really easy to do over the Muppets 3D show. Change it up a little bit. First and foremost, I think they just need to do a new show in general. I really want them to revive it back in California Adventure. It doesn't look like it's going to come back because they have not done the original show in a long time. But I keep crossing my fingers.
So say we all.
It would be really cute to, one, just see the orchestra of the Penguins with little Santa hats as they're playing. You know, they can be orchestrating all of the Muppets in different Christmas carols. Of course, we have a Muppet Christmas Carol. We can bring some stuff back for that.
Well, I think you get a big finale of It Feels Like Christmas, and put as much of the cast in it as possible.
Yes,
you don't necessarily,
including the live humans too.
You could even make, and you get celebrity appearances, like Muppets Christmas specials are synonymous.
Yes,
really.
100%. And I think
This
that
is
would
great.
be a huge draw.
Mhm.
I would get super excited to see that. The Muppets need more representation. They need a little more love. I feel like Disney has been struggling a little bit with how to still maintain them and take care of them. And I feel that this would be a true way to appreciate the property that they have.
I'm going to elaborate and make even less possible.
Okay.
So take all of that, and instead of doing it in the Muppet Theater,
Mm-hmm.
doing it in the Hyperion Theater, having live
Oh,
Muppet performers,
that would be
and
amazing.
you utilize all of the other properties that you have, and you have Doctor Strange singing something, or you have a Pixar character singing something, where it's all of these franchises on stage, where it's just somebody from the parade or like an actor, and you get all of these franchise. You can figure out a way to get Genie back on that stage.
That'd
And
be
it's
awesome.
but it's a 44-minute Christmas special that happens 5 times a day live.
That would be awesome.
But that means you get Frozen out of there, and that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, I keep wondering about that because obviously now there is an actual Frozen Broadway show going on. Back in the day when Disney was first stepping into the Broadway sphere, the Beauty and the Beast show, it started at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And then somebody turned to another person higher up and said, hey, we should actually put this on stage. We actually had musical Broadway writers create this.
And
We need
performers.
to, and performers. And after they did that, they actually took the show away from Disneyland.
Yeah.
And that's why it wasn't there as long as people would have liked it to have been. They don't do that so much now because they will change certain things. And obviously, the Frozen show that we have in California Adventure is not the same
No.
from what's on Broadway. But obviously, it's got a lot of the same music,
It's-
if not slight variations on it. But it was their first sort of test for the stage.
Yeah, but and using all of the technology, like, and all of the mapping.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Muppet wall of the opening of the Muppet Show taking over that entire stage?
That would be so
And
cool.
with the Muppets, you pre-record a lot of the you could pre-record a lot of the show
Yeah.
with the actual actors, or you could get a lot of good impressionists, because then you could do all of the live stuff. But if you keep it to Kermit introducing the act or being backstage like it's an actual Muppet show, so that way you only see Kermit at the end, so it's the singing voice, so you don't have to have a live actor there being Kermit or Scooter or anybody. I really want that.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for you, sweetie. So oh yeah, I gotta. She glanced this way. Would you?
Snowball fight.
Let me do my next one. Actually no, I'll put these two together too.
Oh, okay.
Because they're kind of the same thing. Super easy. Something that just opened up this summer at Universal, the DreamWorks Theater.
Is screaming for something.
Every single DreamWorks animated property has at least one Christmas special.
Yeah.
So you get it similarly, like right now it's this big huge themed show to Kung Fu Panda and the Emperor's Journey or whatever it's called. So you just put snow over everything. You get all of the people that aren't the actual actors saying Christmas stuff, and every half an hour it's a different show. So you can go in, you can watch Shrek the Halls, which is the only name of a Christmas special that I know. Then you watch a very Burke Christmas, or like you just hey it's Tuesday, they're playing Shrek all day. Hey, it's Wednesday, they're playing Trolls all day. Hey, it's Thursday, they're playing Madagascar all week. So that gives annual pass holders something like, yeah, let's go do it.
Yeah.
And it seems so simple. You just redress a couple of things, and Universal's all about redressing a couple of things.
Well, and they've built that space specifically to be something that they can easily change the show around pretty quickly.
It's just the pre-show that changes.
Yeah.
And even then you can just keep it up as a museum to cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like from the DreamWorks world. And so the thing I'm going to combine it with is Despicable Me. Very easy, very simple.
Oh my gosh, I love the idea of seeing minions in Christmas hats.
So there's that. We switch it around to like Gru's Christmas Caper or something where it's Christmas, and we switch it from being about the girl, or rather the girls being in the forefront, to it being about Gru getting a present for the girls and not knowing, because he's like, I've never had to do this. I don't know what this is.
Oh yeah.
So something along those lines, and the minions are giving whatever sort of advice they can.
The bottle brush that is the replacement for the plushy unicorn.
Yeah. So Gru figuring out Christmas, but another rival in the supervillain community is like captures the girls or something like something like that.
Yeah.
But we were there recently, and it's all decked out. All of the houses have a different color scheme.
Yeah,
it looks really pretty.
It was really beautiful and very striking.
Very yellow. very yellow. So yeah, that I think, especially with these motion simulator rides, you gotta just reanimate some stuff.
Well, and that brings me to my other idea that made me just gasp and say, how have they not done this?
I know you're not gonna say what I think you're gonna say.
Soarin' needs a holiday overlay.
Yeah.
Like years ago. So
tell us about it. Tell us the ride.
Okay.
Take
So
us on a journey.
originally in Soarin' over California's iteration,
Yes.
you know, we end up in Disneyland during Christmas time, and it didn't matter when you went on the ride, you still finished with it being the holidays. But now it's Soarin' over the world, and just titled Soarin', and all over the world you see everything. You see the animals, you see different planes, etc. I would love to visit the world over the holidays and see how the entire world celebrates special winter holidays.
Huh.
Something that I really love about this season is you see an amalgamation of cultures and their different contributions to the fantastic melting pot that the world is.
Mm-hmm.
Different cuisines, different traditions that they have, different sort of lighting displays, everything. I just love to see flybys over cities with all of the lights. The Eiffel Tower, for example, which is already in the current version of the ride. All of these things that they could very easily do that would just be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be just so easy to make. I mean, why have they not done this? This is like billions of dollars just screaming at Disney, take me.
And now that they've done the 4K overhaul, it seems easier to get flybys of stuff. But you also, getting the multicultural stuff of it, of not just getting Christmas, but of all of the different holidays that happen across the late November to early January period.
Mm-hmm.
and how different people say. Then your fireworks at the end is New Year's.
That's right. Exactly right.
I do okay. I'm passable. All right. So
It'd be
I
called
like that
Soarin' over the holidays.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
So the only thing that I have isn't really necessarily any sort of an idea other than it's not even a concept. I just want something SpongeBob, man. Like,
oh, yeah.
we're living in unfortunately we're living in a post Steven Hillenburg world, and it helped bring SpongeBob back to the forefront. You want to talk about a household name? There aren't a lot of kid shows that you can name and everybody knows what you're talking about.
This is true.
You know, you've got your Bugs Bunnies, you got your Mickey Mouses. SpongeBob is right up there. If and what a wonderful even just going into the SpongeBob store, Andrea can vouch for this. Right outside of ET, we were waiting for for the line to either the ride open up or fast passes or something. Well, we were waiting for something.
We were waiting for something. Oh yeah,
the
I
ride
think
was
it
closed.
It closed, and we were just waiting for it to pick back up because that's the sweet spot, guys. Just keep an eye out on it. If the ride's been closed for a little bit, just hold on. Don't run away, because if you're the first person to walk in line, that was what ended up happening too. We were at the very front. We walked through the queue behind the cast members.
And we gave our respects to Botanicus.
Of course. Oh, Botanicus.
Hail Botanicus. But so yeah, even just being in that store and seeing Squidward's house, and it's just tiny
it was so
little
much
things.
fun,
It was
and
so
everyone
cool.
was so excited. There was a huge line.
There was a line because there was a character meet and greet, and you were like, "Do you want to meet?" It might have been. I think it was Patrick. You want to meet Patrick? He was like, "No, I'll just see him through the window." But
Well, and we saw Patrick the other day with a Santa hat over at Universal Studios,
they had a
and
long
I
line.
kind of wanted to take a picture with him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well-
I never want to take pictures with characters. No offense to the characters, but I'm more focused on the rides. But come on, they're in a Santa hat.
Yeah, SpongeBob and Patrick's Santa or Christmas regalia was really fun. And it was a day or two after Steven had passed. So I was just like, I really want to. I really want to. So before Christmas time is over, we'll do it. But I'm sure he gets it a lot. People ask, "Are you Santa Claus?" And like, "No, this is Patrick." Fun bit of trivia. If you're not watching the new DuckTales, you are missing out. But in the most recent episode, the Christmas episode, so good. The only thing that I'll mention about it is the Ghost of Christmas Present is voiced by Bill Fagerback, who is also the voice of Patrick Star. And the second he opened his mouth, I went, "Patrick, is that Bill? Is that Bill?" But fantastic, some great character work in that episode, great voices, all of that. But
and watch it all the way to the
all the way
end.
till the end, especially if you're a fan of Mickey's Christmas Carol. But I it's so bizarre to me that SpongeBob doesn't have a major presence other than face characters, that store, and there used to be the Nickelodeon Splash Zone,
That's true.
but that was it.
Well, I don't know if you remember this, Mark,
I do.
but okay.
I know exactly what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Years and years and years and years ago, we were at a zoo, I
San
believe.
Diego Zoo.
We were at the San Diego Zoo, and we went on one of those miniature, almost portable, I would say, temporary motion simulator attractions, and it featured SpongeBob. I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember bouncing in Bikini Bottom.
And Rock Bottom. I'm watching it right now. I just found the video. But SpongeBob makes a bubble bicycle, and he falls off the cliff and drops all the way down to Rock Bottom. I'm pretty sure this is it because the animation looks very similar. Plankton tries to steal the Krabby Patty. He has Robo Patrick. But yeah, that's the closest thing to... Well, I mean, it was a ride, but...
It was a ride, but it wasn't a permanent fixture.
It was a travel. It was rough. Like, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, no, I remember getting off of it and going, "Oh, why did we do this?" I mean, we were really excited, and obviously being theme park nerds, we were like, "It's a ride, we gotta do it."
It's
I
a
mean,
ride
it's right
at a
there.
zoo.
Yeah.
But...
And of course, my mom is there like,
What are you doing?
You really want to do this? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's SpongeBob. So, Christmas, one of the other great Christmas specials is the SpongeBob Christmas episode where he first learns about Santa and snow and all of that stuff, and it's really nice and heartwarming, and they bring all of Bikini Bottom together, and I'm starting to cry. But it's at the very least, if Grinchmas wasn't the king, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a whole lot of sense. If it wasn't Grinchmas, like a Bikini Bottom Christmas would be the next thing. Almost, I think, no, because then Hogwarts takes over too. Because I was going to say, if there's any sort of a place in Islands of Adventure where you could put oh my God, Andrea, the only thing that can replace Poseidon is Bikini Bottom. That is, if, because we did, if something can replace E.T., it would be Beetlejuice. But if could, you don't want to replace Poseidon.
Well, no,
it has
obviously
4.5 stars on the Universal website.
I love Poseidon. It just needs a little bit of updating. That's all.
It needs a lot of updating.
Okay, yes, but.
I'm sorry, 4 stars, not 4.5 stars.
Oh.
I don't want to sell it. I don't want to oversell it.
It is so unique to anything else that I've seen in the theme park industry. And as long as you maintain the original idea...
Okay, I got it.
Uh-oh. I'm scared now.
You change it from Poseidon's Fury to Neptune's Fury, which is the Romanized version of Poseidon, but Neptune in SpongeBob is the king of the sea, and it becomes a SpongeBob walkthrough.
What I would actually prefer, oh dear,
That's so stupid.
I don't want it to go there. I want them to leave Lost Continent the way that it is, the same feel, and my fear is that if they put an IP in there, that it's just going to wreck that entire feel. But as we were saying before, while we were waiting for E.T., that's where the SpongeBob stuff was. I feel like that little corner off to the side with the kids' play area, and there was a Barney show in the corner.
There was a Barney show. There was also the Fievel play place.
Right. I don't foresee another Fievel movie coming out because
Who
a
owns that
lot
IP?
of time has passed. So that might be the prime area to kind of redo the play area for the kids.
Yeah.
But it would also be something fun for the adults to check out. It'll still be next to E.T., which is a very family-friendly attraction.
But-
And then you could do a whole ride for SpongeBob in that area, too.
You know who co-produced An American Tail?
Steven Spielberg?
Amblin Entertainment.
Yeah.
So Amblin, next to an Amblin property, also Barney's there. But unless Steven... so let me
No,
put
that's true.
Let me put it like this. If E.T. goes, Fievel's going.
E.T. isn't going as long as Steven Spielberg is alive.
I know, but if/when that happens, whether it's before or after his mysterious untimely death.
How dare you?
Yeah, we're knocking on wood. But that's the thing, is if E.T. goes, that whole area is going to go down, and something else is going to go in its place.
Well, it's easy enough for them to close it off from the rest of the park because it is its own corner.
Yeah, it's in the back. We had trouble finding it the first day
I was
we
so
were there.
upset.
I know,
And that was the
E.T.'s here
first
somewhere.
place we were going. And I was like, where is it? I just want to see E.T.
We showed up and we were lost. Okay, so
I'd like to see E.T. with Santa hats as well. Can we just give all of the rides with audio animatronic characters, all of them have Santa hats. If you do that,
No.
I want to see T-Rex with a Santa hat. I want to see Blue with a Santa hat.
I want to see Botanicus with a forest
Oh.
nymph Santa where it's green and he's got the candles.
And then
and
E.T.
the wreath.
has to save the holidays at the Green Planet. And there are like all of these mysterious fairies and stuff. This would be amazing.
I was just going for Botanicus's costume, but
No. This is
All
a
right.
whole new thing now, Mark.
Okay, so let's follow this train of thought, but I
Okay.
have a follow-up.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Christmas on the Green Planet.
Yeah.
So E.T. tries to bring Christmas to the Green Planet or saves what their version of Christmas on the Green Planet?
Well, he's still saving the Green Planet because they still need things to grow. And what's going to grow is Christmas stuff.
Okay,
Yeah. And it's all green.
let's go. This was your idea, so
Yeah,
I don't know where we're going with it.
Okay. How do I... So, like, E.T. will use his magic touch, and then, like, Christmas trees will come up, and all of these, like, green woodland fairy things will come out, and Botanicus will be like, hey, this is what we've been asking for. Why do you keep going away and letting everyone else die? Seriously.
Wow.
Why does he keep doing that?
It's like going home for your family. Like, why do you keep leaving and leaving us here to die?
And that's exactly what the holidays are about.
What have you done?
Anyhow, I just want to see E.T. with a Santa hat. That's really what it boils down
I
to.
mean,
But
they
I
probably
would
have that merch. You could probably just get that.
no, but I want to see it on the ride.
I want to see it in action.
Yeah.
All right, so here's where I go with this. Flip it. What doesn't deserve I want Christmas overlays on rides that don't deserve it. or will definitely never get it.
Mm-hmm.
So to start the show rolling, first thing, not the tiki room,
Which people always want a Mele Kalikimaka overlay,
Sure.
which 100% is a valid argument.
but it's the same argument with some people are coming to see the original. If this is the original,
Which is the problem with all of this,
Yeah.
I would say.
so we have a Life Day adventure on Star Tours. Never gonna happen. Never
Oh
gonna
my
happen.
god.
Never gonna happen. Let's see. Never gonna see Christmas in Marvel Landing or Cartoon Lagoon.
Well, you know what?
They
If
can't
it-
change it. They can't change any of the Marvel stuff that's already at Islands of Adventure.
Oh, well, what I was saying was at least for the future Marvel stuff that's coming.
Marvel.
I can imagine Tony Stark's house being just decked out to the nines. Instead of meeting Santa, you meet Tony Stark. That would be amazing. I really like this idea.
Also, what doesn't deserve one? Oh, I just had it. I just flipping had it. Transformers.
Yeah, that would be weird.
That would be weird. Megatron is like it's. Oh no!
I'm going
No,
to
no, no, no.
ruin Christmas.
It's more Starscream, but I love
Right.
the energy. If it was a Transformers Christmas Carol and the ride was like 20 minutes, but it was robots of Christmas past
Oh God,
trying to
murder
help,
you.
No, help Megatron
Oh,
like see the error of his ways
Oh.
and not try to get the Allspark. And by the end of it, he's like, "Oh, I hate the holidays," or something like that. It's, again, we're talking about stuff that never gonna happen. What other stuff doesn't deserve a holiday overlay? But they've thought about it. They've probably thought about half of this stuff.
oh sure.
Backdraft.
Huh. Now,
Oh.
that would be really sad.
That's a fire
That would
fire that starts from a Christmas tree.
Oh no! Oh, that's horrible. And then at the end, there's like a PSA. Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Actually, yeah, that might actually be helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But
Mum,
I'm
mum,
just
mum.
traumatized.
What else is? What actually?
Jimmy Neutron.
Well, that's not a thing anymore.
I know, but
was-
that's why it especially doesn't deserve it.
Was that good? Well, I don't
I
remember
don't
the
know.
Jimmy Neutron Christmas special. I don't think it was that good.
I never saw it.
Did you ever watch the show?
Only when I was trying to flip channels and find something.
There was some good stuff there.
Well, sure.
But it's
But it
definitely-
was past my time to be interested in it.
it also hasn't aged well. Like in terms of visual, the 3D was not.
I was never really I never really enjoyed the animation style.
You know what showed its sort of shortcomings when they did the Fairly Odd Parents crossover. And Timmy went into Jimmy Neutron and was animated like a Jimmy Neutron character, and it looked rough. And then Jimmy went into Fairly Odd Parents and looked great because it was a great animation style.
Yeah.
But we want to know what your must-have Christmas overlays and. Oh God, no!
The absolute worst thing that you could come up with. I'm still trying to come up with something really bad, and I'm struggling because
We're trying to come up with
there's
some terrible
lots-
ideas.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I know you want to see T-Rex in a Santa hat.
Yeah.
But what would that be? Like, what would the ride be?
Actually, I wish that Jaws over in
my
Florida was still a thing.
Wow me, please.
I just have this horrible visual of like Santa's outfit just ripped to shreds in Jaws' teeth.
vacation and now I'm dead.
Oh,
Why
it
did I
just-
go to Amity?
absolute. Oh no. The tram tour over for War of the Worlds. Santa's sleigh crashed down into
Red sleigh down.
into the town, and just that's what caused all of the damage, and just that, and with like all of these like half open presents. I have the worst.
To make it worse,
oh no,
the Grinch brought it down. He brought it down from their little Whoville that they built up the road.
Oh no.
Yeah. Or they, oh God, he stole the
Grinch
woman's.
doesn't want to hurt anybody. He's just mad.
Well, what if he took the Christmas light gun that the Whovian, the mayor's wife had, and just pointed it
Oh
upward?
my gosh. This has taken a really dark turn. I apologize, listeners. I didn't mean for it to get so dark.
Yeah, we do. I mean, you took it there.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. But yeah, we want to hear your terrible ideas. Try to out terrible Andrea. See what you can do. And man,
tweet at us. I really want to see it.
I want to see Santa Botanicus.
Santa Botanicus.
That could be great.
Yeah.
But like woodland Santa like fairy king
I kind of want to
Botanicus.
draft this up right now.
Commission somebody.
Oh, I could do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When was the last time you did some art?
I mean, it's been a while,
Okay.
but I
How's your-
could do it.
Die Hard the Ride, because it's a Christmas movie.
Oh God! Every time everyone goes Die Hard, it takes place during Christmas.
But I mean, it's
Whatever.
also like a building exploding, so it's not the best idea.
If Disney wanted to go in a completely different direction and end feeling with the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay,
I'm
the
terrified.
whole point of the story is Jack realizing that he really shouldn't have been messing with all of this, and he's the Pumpkin King, he's not Santa Claus, and just having wrecked everything, nearly having died again, I guess. That's still kind of a question mark in terms of the story, but just being in the ruins in that graveyard after he's been taken out, riding on the sleigh with all of the messed up toys, just singing "What Have I Done?"
Can you imagine?
That would be so sad.
Well, no, here's how you do that. So instead of the present room in the attic, you have it be a TV or a radio playing the broadcast from the movie, where it's like, we have shot down the imposter Santa Claus, but there's no real thing in sight. Christmas will have to be canceled. As you head out of the attic, you hear silence. It's not singing. It's not jovial. All of the stuff is like kind of blacked out, but in the place of the happy, what is your name? Like standing Santa Claus, you see Jack on the open book gravestone starting "What Have I Done?" And the graveyard is more of a scene of, I've made a terrible mistake.
I'm like starting to cry. I'm just like, oh. It's one of the most moving pieces in the movie. Something that I always think about instantly when I think of that film is that moment where you see him lying in the angel's arms.
And Zero bringing fetching his jaw.
jaw.
What a wonderful image. Is it? Yeah, I think it's still good to watch that movie.
Another holiday tradition of ours.
Yeah, man, what a good movie. And what a terrible way to end this podcast, because we're just death.
What have we done? What have we done?
I'm just wondering how long you're going to take this.
I'm not going to go on anymore. Anyhow, again, I'm sorry, listeners.
Whatever.
Please out horrible me.
This is
I dare you.
The Party of Two Pod at Christmas time saying, reach into the darkest depths of your soul and pull out just the most bile and awful thing that you could, black bile, not red bile, thing that you could, there's a difference.
Green bile.
No, there's a difference. In what terrible Christmas overlays you would want to see. Oh God, like a Joyeux Noel, there's a Christmas movie that came out a couple years ago that was about the Christmas ceasefire during World War One, and everybody coming across the battle lines and having a really like nice Christmas, and then not wanting it to end because the second Christmas was over. They had to go back to killing each other the next day. It's an amazing movie, and what you could do with that in a theme park, I have no idea. But let's just go away feeling terrible. What happened today?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I was like, Star Wars Life Day. That's fun.
I was just thinking like Santa hat's here, Santa hat's there, Santa's hat in Jaws' mouth. Oh dear God, what happened?
Santa's hat here, there, everywhere. There's pieces all over the gaff.
No, don't say that.
You started with Jaws.
No, I was just saying his hat. No guts, no body parts.
No. I said his hat. His hat all here, there, and everywhere.
Okay.
You took it to guts.
No, hey, stop it.
Do you have it? Guts. Changing the subject, ending the show. What's that? Oh, we got to get going on this ride. But before we do, and before we damn ourselves further to the depths of Hades,
You can follow me whether you love me or hate me on Instagram and Twitter at Dole Whip Drea. I promise you that my pictures and my tweets are less horrible than what comes out of my mouth live.
let us know what if you like this episode, and if there's any ideas that you have for Christmas overlays or anything. Tweet us at Party of 2Pod. Tweet me specifically at Mark B. Donica, Instagram, Twitter. We're working on a couple of cool things around the holidays, but it's all Christmas related. And how are we going to stay sustainable next year? Who knows? We're just going to throw it all out there for this year. Yeah, right? Anyway, we're having a ball on the show, and we really appreciate everybody who's come along for the ride. We got our first iTunes review. We read that on our last episode. So please help us out. Leave us a message on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars. Okay, we're coming. Leave us 5 stars and a review. It helps us be found in the big world of podcasting and Parks podcasting. There are a couple that we listen to, and we would love to take part in conversations with various people.
Yeah, feel free to reach out if you're listening and maybe you've got your own Parks podcast. We always enjoy synergy.
Yeah, we would love to work with you in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us on this very bizarre episode of... And
we're coming off of Halloween. That's just what it is.
That's probably what it is. We're not shooting this that early. But thank you for... so thank you for joining us on this very bizarre episode for the Party of 2 podcast. We'll see you on the next dark, evil, brooding, terrifying, soul-shattering ride.